Welcome to my blog. On this video, I'll explain to you a brief summary of what is first of thermodynamics. Basically, first of thermodynamics is a version of the law of conservation of energy adapted for thermodynamic systems. It is stated that heat energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can, however, be transferred from one location to another and converted to and from other forms of energy. This statement wants us to understand that energy always exists everywhere and anytime, and it will never be vanished. It's just transformed from one form to another. A simple example is a human metabolism. Human beings or other animals do work like when they or run or move heavy objects. The work they are doing requires energy, and this energy is come from inside of your body, and it is being maintained by the food that we eat. It will turn into sweat as you run or walk, and that sweat made up to the floor and evaporize and transform into gas until it transforms infinitely times. In thermodynamics, there are three very important terms needed for better understanding in first of thermodynamics. First is a thermodynamic system. Thermodynamic system is a body of matter confined in space by with defined permeabilities, which separate it from surroundings. And the second and third terms needed is surroundings and boundaries. Everything external to the system is called thermodynamic surroundings, and the system is separated from the surroundings by the system boundary, which means the boundaries is maybe the wall of your house, and the surroundings is everything outside of your house, like the heat of the sun, the air flowing in the space, animals, walking, and etc. While thermodynamic system is everything inside your house, from biggest particle-like object to smallest particle-like object. In thermodynamics, we have three types of system. First, the open system, second, closed system, and the last one is isolated system. Open system is a type of system where both mass and energy may cross across the system boundaries. Example is a coffee mug, where the liquid of coffee may flow in or out the coffee mug. You can easily transfer energy to it by exposing it to sun or remove energy to it, like putting it to freezer. Next, we use plastic bottle as example on closed system. Because of this closed lid, no mass or water can flow out of the system, out of the bottle. While in the state of flowing energy, energy can easily move in or out the system because of its thin layer. That's why exposing bottled water to sun will increase its temperature quickly. Our next example is for isolated system. Isolated system is a type of system where both mass and energy are not allowed or cannot cross the boundary. The best example for it is a thermos. Because of its double vacuum flask wall, no heat can transfer in or out the thermos, and because of its closed container, no mass or water can flow in or out the thermos. But always remember that when a thermodynamic system does work, it loses heat. It is that the work of the molecule is converted to it. And when work is done on a system, it gains heat. It means that heat is converted to work. First example for this is the coffee mug with coffee, of course. When you put it on the freezer, it loses heat as the molecule of the liquid coffee moves to the freezer until it's not moving anymore. The energy that moves the molecule from the liquid coffee to the freezer is what we call the internal energy. Internal energy is a total kinetic energy and potential energy of all the molecules in the system. It is the energy necessary to create or prepare the system in any given state, but does not include the kinetic energy of motion of the system as a whole, or the potential energy of the system as a whole due to external force fields, which includes the energy of displacements of the system's surroundings. It keeps account of the gains and losses of energy of the system that are due to changes in its internal state. Please read my blog to see examples of internal energy. There are four basic types of process in thermodynamics where you can change the value of the internal energy inside the system or in the system. First is the adiabatic process. It is a process which no heat can transfer in or out the system, or there is no heat transfer at all. Because of no heat transfer, we can take Q as 0 and substitute it to the equation of internal energy. This will leave us to the internal energy is equals to work only. The second process is the isovolumetric process, a process where the volume is held constant. Since volume remains constant, the work done will be 0. This will leave us heat is equals to change in internal energy. The third process is the isothermal process, a process in which temperature held constant. Since the temperature remains constant in this process, so the internal energy almost remains constant. Since the internal energy is constant, we can now equate to internal energy to 0. And since the internal energy is 0, this will leave our equation heat is equals to negative of work. And the last process is the isobaric process, a process in which the pressure held constant. The equation for this process is heat equals to change in internal energy minus work, where work is equals to negative amount of substance times the universal gas constant R and the change in temperature, and where heat is equals to amount of substance times the specific heat at constant pressure times change in temperature. Please read my blog to see more examples of thermodynamic process. And that's the brief summary of first law of thermodynamics. Thanks for watching.